this is Natalie back at Hoya Haven, and I thought it would be kind of neat to show you my 6 plants I bought at Schlief Tropicals. I bought them, I was flipping through my pictures the other day and I noticed that I had purchased them about 6 months ago. And so I thought, well, wouldn't that be neat if I pulled those 6 plants out of my collection and showed you what they look like compared to what they looked like 6 months ago when I purchased them. Some have done well, some have done not so well. As of today, they all are still alive because I've been paying extra careful attention to them. They are a little bit more of my high-priced Hoyas, so those ones I really try to watch. But anyhow, I've got my coffee. It is a rainy morning here in Ohio, and we went from having the windows open and all nice weather to now we've closed up, heat's back on, so I think it's here to stay. But anyhow, I am going to show you what I have. And so if you haven't seen the video where I did the tour of Schlief's Tropicals and showed you what I purchased, I'm going to put it down in the description below. And I encourage you to watch that first and then maybe come back and watch this video. But anyhow, the first one that I have in the video is my Hoya Silver Dollar. And I've got a screenshot right here of what this plant looked like when I first bought it. Beautiful, right? Well, guess what? It's not quite as beautiful anymore. This first one, the Hoya Silver Dollar, this is one I have struggled with. And I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if Silver Dollar is typically a harder plant. Let me show you what he looks like. I'm down to 2 leaves. But on a good note, after it's been 2 leaves for months, I want to say at least 3 months, I did repot it. And now I'm getting a little bit of something. I also did spray a little bit of sulfur on top. I started thinking, well, maybe it's got flat mites. I don't know. I was pulling out all the stops, but I think we're getting somewhere here. But what originally had happened, these 2 leaves had gotten really wrinkled. And then everything I had on top of that, I kind of panicked because the other leaves look fine. So I thought, I'm going to cut it off. I'll probably lose these 2 leaves, but I will have kept the rest of the plant and I can reroot that. That did not work as expected. Honestly, the opposite happened. I ended up killing the rest of what I tried to reroot. And then these 2 leaves just continued to hang in there. They looked bad for the worst time. I thought I was going to lose the whole entire plant. But right now, as of today, they feel very firm. They're not quite as wrinkly. They have maybe like a little bit of wrinkle in them, but I think that's just residual from whatever had happened to it. But now I have a new leaf. So for that, I am ever grateful. And this is my Hoya Silver Dollar. Okay, number 2 on my previous video was the Hoya Lacosa Silver. This is what it looked like when I first purchased it 6 months ago. And this was one that this is the one that made me make the trip. There was this one and one other one that made me make the trip out there to make some purchases. This has been doing well. This has actually been one of my better plants of this haul. So here is my Lacosa Silver today. It's been doing great. Now I will say I did find a couple mealybugs on it, and I've had some plants in my collection that have had mealybugs, but they've been few and far between. It's usually just one or two, and as long as I clean them off with the alcohol and I check them, you know, keep an eye on them, I usually don't see anymore. So every week when I water, I just make sure I've got alcohol and Q-tips on hand, and if I see anything, I zap it right then and there. This has not affected the growing in any way, though, the couple that I did find. I do have a couple leaves up here that did get a little bit sun scorched. And but other than that, it's been in the grow tent. Right now it's outside of the grow tent. And it's doing wonderful. I might actually be propagating this soon. This is one that would be an ideal plant to try to propagate. So this is my number 2 plant, and that is Hoya Lacosa Silver. All right, let's see. Number 3 is another Lacosa. This is my Lacosa Varigated. And over here, I'll show you a picture of what this plant looked like when I purchased it, which was, again, 6 months ago. And this is my Hoya Lacosa Varigated today. We've got all of this going on. We've got this continuing to grow. And then we have this very cute pink leaf that is just going. This one is in my grow tent. And this strand with all the cute pink leaves also has a peduncle. So I don't know if you can get a good look at that, but I think this one might be blooming before long. This one stays in my grow tent. It seems to be very happy with the light there. However, this one's confusing me a little bit. The original leaves, which are right in here, they seem to be kind of thin and kind of a little bit wrinkly feeling. They have not grown, and they just don't look that hot. However, I've got new growth here. I've got new growth here. I've got this whole strand, which appears to be green only. And then I have this strand back here. These new ones that are coming in, the leaves are smaller, but they're thicker. So, like, I'm doing something right, but at the same time, something's not totally cool with some of the older branches. So, to be determined. I'm not going to do anything with it yet. I am going to just keep an eye on it. I do have it just in pumice and leca balls. So I don't know. Jury's out on this one, but I do love it. I definitely love it. So that is my number 3, and that is the Lacosa Silver, or Lacosa Variegated. All right, number 4, and this is my Hoya breviolata. That's what it looked like when I got it. This one was also a little bit of a struggle. I think it was my own fault. I had it in terracotta, and I think I let it dry out, which all my Hoyas that are in terracotta, I really have to keep a closer eye on. So I'm a chronic heavy overwaterer, which means that terracotta can be my friend because if I do overwater, it will suck up the excess. But it didn't work out so well for my breviolata. It needed watering more than once a week in terracotta. So I ended up pulling it out, and usually what I do if a plant's not doing well, I usually put it into at least a couple different sections. So if one section dies, I've still got another. So, you know, I'll maybe change the medium a little bit, do something a little bit different with each one. So at least I have a better chance of keeping the plant alive. So on the breviolata, half of it was planted in perlite and leca, or pumice and leca. The other half was put in dirt. Well, what was put in dirt is no longer with us. However, the breviolata that I did put in pumice and the leca is doing great. And it stays very moist. It's kind of like a semi-hydro situation, but this one has continued to grow. We've got even a new little baby leaf coming in right here. So I think this one is going to stay in pumice and leca. I think that's the ticket for this one. This one likes a little bit more water. And, you know, just some of those things you don't really know. You know, you can look up care tips, but sometimes, I think even sometimes care tips can vary, just depending on the type of strain of that plant that you have. So I definitely, whenever I buy a new plant, I definitely look up care tips on the internet first. But sometimes I have to adjust that just based on what my individual plant wants or needs. So anyhow, that's my number 5 on my update for my Schlief tropical purchases. And that is the Hoya breviolata. And actually that wasn't number 5, that was number 4. So don't know how to do math. Okay, number 5. Number 5 is not one. It is a plant that I did not realize I wanted until I got there and I seen the mother plant. And then I wanted it. This is my Hoya GPS 7240. On the day I became its owner. And this one's grown for me. It hasn't grown tremendously fast, but it has grown. And it hasn't taken any back slides or back turns, you know. It's been slow, but it's been steady. And so here's what my Hoya GPS 7240 looks like today. And it looks like jelly beans. Now the ones I'm getting in are a little bit longer, a little bit curled, but I'm not complaining because I still love the look of it. It has not been in my grow tent. I might put it in, maybe that might affect the shape of the leaves. But again, because it's been growing and it's still continuing to grow right here, I'm a little bit leery about changing anything in it. So, and I really like the dark leaves. And anything that's been in my grow tent has really been bleached out. I'm in the process. I think I'm going to sell the light that I have and get some lights that are not so harsh on Hoyas. Because when I bought my tent, I bought the whole kit, and not knowing everything that I know now, I think that the light is too strong for my Hoya. They do grow well, but they become very bleached out, and I don't know if I like that look. So that's one of the reasons I have not put GPS 7240 in the grow tent. I really love the dark color to it, and I really want that to stay. And it's got the cutest little speckles on it too. So that's my number 5, and that is Hoya GPS 7240. Okay, last one on the list is a Kilana. And we all know about the inner variegated Kilana. You know, I still have mine. It's been a struggle, but I still have it. But this one is the Kilana outer variegated. And here's what it looked like the day I purchased it. This again was another plant that I had seen online, and my Lacunosa silver and my Kilana outer variegated are the 2 reasons why I made the trip to Schlief Tropicals. This one's done good. This one's done real good. I still have it in the original soil that it came in. If I could have kept all of them in the original soil, I would have, but you know, like I said, I'm an overwaterer. I mess things up sometimes, but this is my Kilana outer variegated. And this is one I'm probably sure I could propagate and sell some cuttings of, but I just don't think I can cut it. I am so in love with this plant. I've had a little bit of struggle with my non-variegated Kilana. I've had a lot of struggle with my inner variegated Kilana. But this one, no issues. No issues to speak of. One of my very favorite Hoya. So this is Kilana outer variegated. So, and I recently moved him. He was upstairs in this grow room, in the front window. And I have since moved him downstairs because I decided he is too pretty of a plant to just be up here. So I decided he's going to go in this pot, and he's going to sit front and center on my baker's rack in my bottom downstairs plant room. So, and on this note, we will end our video. That was my 6-month update of my Schleif Tropicals plants. And I think what I will probably do is when it gets to be a year, I will do a year update on my Schleif Tropical purchases. And if you've never checked out their website, I highly encourage you to do so. Their plants, if you want to go on Etsy and find a cheaper version of what they have, you probably can. But they might not be in as good as health as what the ones you get at Schleif's are. Schleif's does amazing with their growing, and they will not send something out unless it's in perfect condition. But I can assure you, if you order from them, you will get a healthy plant. You will not get something that's just cuttings stuck in dirt. You will get a fully rooted plant that is actively growing. And when I sell propagations, I try to do the same thing. I don't want to send something that I just potted up. I don't want to send something unless I know I can make it grow. And if I can make it grow, probably the person purchasing off of me can make it grow. But enough about that. That was my 6 plants from Schleif Tropicals. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please feel free to like and share and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video. Have a wonderful day today. Bye.